Okay then guys, we're almost done. We're on day 9, keeping focused on your goals. So let's just, as usual, go through the structure and look at what we've done so far. So day 1 was the introduction and energy. Day 2, we were looking at developing our awareness. Day 3, we were looking at decluttering, all those different sorts of decluttering that we can do. And day 4, then making the loving choices for yourself once you've done the decluttering. Day 5, we were looking at intent and intuition and how to use them and develop them. Day 6, we were looking at the different types of meditation, how to set up a good meditative practice. Day 7, we were learning to use affirmations as part of day 8, which was the creative thinking process. Day 9 now is keeping focused on your goals. Okay, so let's go to this next slide. Okay, so goal setting. And the power of focus. You know, this is all about the power of focus and goal setting and being specific with our goals. Sorry, I've just realised I put the numbers wrongly there. Never mind. But the number 2 should be at number 1. Sorry about that, guys. So goal setting, it's just simply a way of keeping focus, you know, on what we're trying to achieve. So if we think about it, at New Year, we all make, or a lot of us make, resolutions, don't we? And there is a specific reason for that I'm not going to go into in this course, but you know, we write down, we say to ourselves, oh, you know, these are my resolutions. But how many of us write them down? How many of us revisit them? How many of us put them up somewhere visible so that we can see them to keep us focused, you know? And this is why we quickly go off the boil with them, because we're just not really thinking about them anymore. You know, we're all gung-ho in the beginning, and I know that I do that as well. But it's about being focused and ways to keep ourselves focused to ensure that we have success through our goals. And obviously your goal, because you're listening to this, is to learn to self-support and lead an inspiring life. So, you know, you have to keep focus on that, because there's a lot for you to do and there's a lot of change and transformation that needs to go on. So you absolutely need that focus. So for goal setting, that's the first part. We need to be able to ask for what we want, but be very specific in that, okay? Because the universe, you know, I talk about the universe a lot, however, or whatever you feel about that, but you know that it is the universe that likes those specifics. Or even for you, it's just important to be specific and not too woolly, because if your goal is too woolly, it kind of just gets lost and loses momentum and you go off the boil, etc. So when you're setting your goals, just be super specific. So for example, you know, I want to attract more loving, supportive colleagues. You know, I want to have better relationships with my colleagues. Okay, so that's really specific. And what you need to do is think about the what, where, how, and when, or by when of each goal. So the what would be, you know, I want to be surrounded by supportive colleagues. I want to get on more with my colleagues, or develop a more positive relationship with my colleagues. You know, and so by when are you going to do that? Well, you may want to, by the end of the year, have noticed that those relationships have developed and they're feeling a lot more positive. So give yourself a time frame. I mean, this is just an example. Obviously your goals are going to be different. So where is that going to be happening? Well, that'll be at work, won't it? But it could also be outside of work as well. You may want to start to become really good friends with some of those colleagues, okay? So you could say, well, it's going to happen outside of work and at work. And how are you going to achieve that? Well, maybe by starting to make an effort, you know, by saying hello every day, or offering to go for a drink, or offering to fetch someone or make someone a cup of tea, you know, however you do that. And it's just an example, but, you know, be really specific with your goal and each goal that you're going to set, and think about the what, where, how, and when of your goal, because that will help with the specifics, okay? So you will see in your tasks and in your workbook that you make a list of your goals, daily, weekly, monthly, or long term. So think of your goals like that, because we're all going to have daily goals. So you might want to say, well, I want to meditate for 5 minutes every day. That could be your daily goal. Your weekly goal could be, well, I'm going to take part of the house every week and declutter it. Your monthly goal could be, to have used the creative thinking process 5 times that month. And your long-term goal could be that you are going to be self-supporting and, not relying so much on others for your emotional needs, for example. Okay, do you see what I mean? You're going to think about daily, weekly, monthly, or long-term goals, or all of them. It just depends where you're at. Maybe just start with daily goals initially, and just small actions, small goals that won't be of big consequence, that are achievable. Because if you've never worked in this way before, it's important that you start small and do achievable, very small achievable goals. Okay, like for me, for example, when I was thinking about making loving choices and I wanted to start to honor myself a little bit more, I decided to spend 10 minutes every day getting ready, or every other day dressing my hair in a lovely way, like using a fake plait, or using a bun or something. It's just little things, but they were my goals. Okay, and it was achievable. It didn't cost me any money, it just cost me a little bit more time, that was all. And and then I also have my non-negotiable meditative practice I built up to every day. And I said to myself, I'm going to spend 20 minutes every day doing my yoga and meditation and whatever else for me. Got up a bit earlier and I did it, and I'm still doing it. But, I started off very small, where I was just doing a few minutes every day. Just make it easy. Just be easy on yourself. You want this, you want to create momentum so that you continue with it. It's about the everyday action. Okay, it's not what you do once in a blue moon. It's about the everyday action that's important. Now, the last 2 points, the law of attraction and the importance of gratitude, we've already covered, haven't we, in the last few days. So the law of attraction, remember, is this concept that whatever we choose to focus on, whatever we put out there, we're just attracting more of the same. And that's really important when we're goal setting. Okay, you've got to think about that. You're putting it out there, you're setting your intent, you're keeping focus, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. So it's like you're going to be attracting more of the same, especially as the universe will start to see you making those positive steps to help yourself. It's going to give you more of the same. That's how it supports you. And the importance of gratitude as well, when you see those little shifts, because you're setting your goals and your intent, write them down, journal. I think that's a really good idea, to keep a record of all those shifts and changes, because it just gives you more momentum to continue. And the importance of gratitude is vital for universal support. If you're just journaling every night and just jotting down all the things you're grateful for, that you've managed to bring into your life, and you're grateful to the universe for all the loving support that you're feeling, this will really, really help to bring you more of the same. Okay, so they are some things to think about. I'm just going to go through some manifestation anchors with you now. So manifestation anchors are brilliant tools to help keep you focused on your goals, because, as I said, we're human. We tend to be all gung-ho in the moment, and then things quickly go off the boil, don't we? As we forget and life gets in the way. So this is why manifestation anchors are really key to help keep you focused basically on those goals. So you could, now I've got to say now that manifestation goal setting is a whole workshop in itself. I'm just kind of zooming through it, but people do whole workshops on this, and I'm really trying to reduce it, because I know that with my masterclass, it's all about just giving you those bite-sized, really crucial information, so that you can then go away and research and put into practice, or do whatever you need to do. So I'm not going to go into too much detail over this, because it will just send you into overwhelm, and it's not about giving you too much information. It's about giving you the right information. So vision boards are just simply cork boards that you have on your wall somewhere visible. of lots of inspirational images or affirmations, positive statements about your goals. Okay, and just make sure it's visible, something you can see. Pinterest is a brilliant resource for that. It's basically vision boards on the internet. Basically, you can, I don't know whether you're aware of Pinterest, but you can just create vision boards within your own Pinterest space, so you can visit that regularly and look at it and just keep you mindful of what you're trying to achieve. Post-it notes as well everywhere, another really, really good way just to remind you of your goals. Print out and laminate your affirmations as well and make them visible, because these in turn will trigger the fact that you're trying to achieve something. Just keep you mindful of that. As I mentioned earlier, I have lots of notebooks and, to journal my goals and journal my progress and write down my affirmations, write down my goals everywhere, all over the house. Try and write your goal out twice a day. I think that would be really, really powerful for you. You can put reminders and notifications in your phone. If you've got a Google Calendar or whatever set up on your phone, you can put notifications in there. I share them with my husband. It drives him crazy. So we had to kind of, there's a few different ways of doing it. We've kind of found the right way, but at one point it was getting all the notifications as well. And yeah, he wasn't keen on that because they were all stuff for me, not for him. So that's a way of doing things. And I have one of my goals that comes up 3 times a day on my phone. You could put something in your purse, couldn't you, like visible, so you can see your goal every day. I mean, it works in the same way as your affirmations, really. You could change your computer password to your goal, just one word. Change your screensaver on your desktop computer or laptop just to word that evokes your goal or your actual goal written out on your screensaver. Another thing that I was doing, and I kind of come back to, is I wear a particular bracelet that I don't often wear, and I know that bracelet is my goal. It just reminds me of my goal every time I touch it or see it. I know that that's my goal. Or what I did this summer was I got some beads from Amazon, like kids beads to make bracelets, and they had letters on, and I've got my goal written out, or the words for my goal written out on there, so I could see it, and it just reminded me of what I was trying to achieve. So that's just a few ideas to help you keep focused on those goals. So your task for today is obviously to center yourself before you start, so you can get that clarity through, and then make a list of your desired goals. Okay, so you're going to see in the table on the task sheet that it's daily, weekly, monthly goals that you can write out. And remember to start small. Choose a small one. Choose an achievable goal, okay? Don't write down, manifest £1 million pound house, or manifest, or I want to have, what I mean by manifest is I want to have, a 6-figure job by the end of next week. It's just not going to happen. It could happen, but, eventually, but, you've got to keep it doable, haven't you, and realistic for you, what feels right for you, just maybe a little stretch above what would feel right for you. Okay, so just think about that carefully. Now write down these goals as specifically as possible. Choose some of the manifestation anchors from that list to work with, and use ones that you can quite easily start using. And, know that that's going to help you keep focused on your goal. I think writing, journaling, I found personally is very powerful for me. But, everyone's different. You can even say your goal out loud every day if you want to. But, it's entirely up to you. And then just keep track of any manifestation. What I mean is any shift and change towards that goal that you notice, that the universe has gifted to you. Write it down, because this helps keep that momentum going. So important to do that. And then again, work with the affirmation to help support you. Okay, so we've basically looked at goal setting, how to be specific, the how, when, why and what of the goal. We've looked at the different, monthly, daily, long-term, weekly goals that we could set. And we've talked about being specific, haven't we, with that goal. And we've talked about ways to keep ourselves focused on those goals using manifestation anchors. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.